Greetings and welcome to Bloodhaus. Don't freak out. Don't change the thing. I know Josh usually does this part. Josh is going to be out for a little bit. He's dealing with some family issues. So it is I, your co-hostess with the mostest and tree god of the forest, Drusilla Adeline, to host us through this episode of Bloodhaus. But fear not, you're not just stuck with me being my pedantic self. I am joined by an artist and a novelist and an all-around wonderful human being. If you know him as Steak, if you know him as Steak Mtn, or if you just know him as Chuck Norris, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Norris.
That's me. I'm back.
Welcome back!
Thank you.
Welcome back, and we're not here to talk about lesbian vampire boobies this time, which is a shame.
No. It is a shame. It is a shame, but, you know...
We need to prove to people that we have more outside of ourselves than just Jean Rollin lesbian vampire boobies. We have more than that to us.
We do. And that's
than
good.
just putting skulls on things. We put skulls on things, and we watch movies with vampire boobs. And we are more than that.
We are, strangely enough. But...
Have you been?
It's all... yeah, good enough. Winding down. New York is getting less hot this summer. And I said this on the last time I was here 2 years ago, in July of 2022 or whatever. New York was brutal that summer, but New York was fucking brutal. I know that y'all been having this crazy heat wave out there that you're not.
LA's been fucking brural too. Yeah, we've been in triple digits lately.
Yeah, like when people in the middle of America are like, LA is fucking hell, but like really, it's healthy right now. So,
yeah, it's great. I'm just I'm on the prepayment plan on hell, so I'm living in hell now, so that when I get there, it'll be better.
Yeah. I mean, listen, whatever. Slayer's going to be playing there, so it's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. I mean, sure, we'll have to hang out with some people that maybe did some bad shit, but then on the flip side, we'll also be able to hang out with Polanski. And kind of avoid some of the conversations we shouldn't have with them, but just talk to them about The Tenant. And go walk over, go see Morbid Angel play. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
Hell will be fun. You know what?
Easy.
None of that Crizzo bullshit. We won't have to deal with Mark Wahlberg or any of that. They'll be off in their own place. We'll be fine.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's good. I'm glad. So, but yeah, no, things are fine here.
You've been super busy since the last time you were on. I mean, you wrote you've got a whole new book since the last time you were on. Holy Day came out.
Yeah, it came out last October. And yeah, that was keeping me busy. And then recently I was one of the last employees working for Vice.
Mm-hmm.
As I predicted, as the company shaved until it was to the marrow.
Vice's cockroach.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's how I always envisioned it. I was like, dude, me and my team, we're going to be the last people in this building, and we were pretty much the last people in the building. So now I've been focusing more on Steak as I try to figure out my next move. So,
but the Steak work is popping off. You just did the art for the new Laura Jane Grace and the Mississippi Medicals album.
Yep.
Give me an inch. You did that. You've been doing so much great work with OCN and Vinegar Syndrome. The whole totally rad 80s sale and all of that design work is so fucking awesome. Sorry to people that come here to listen about movies. We're two designers talking, so it's gonna be a little bit of a
little bit of shop talk.
A little bit of so threshold layers. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But I've been keeping busy. It'll probably continue into the new year, it looks like, and then I'm probably just gonna take a managerial position at Taco Bell or something to pay the bills. So
the spiciest Taco Bell on the East Coast.
It's definitely in Bushwick somewhere. So,
those are the Taco Bells where you can buy a margarita, right?
No, those are in the city, but yes, those exist. The canteen.
Yes, I did go to one of those when I was in New York, and we had one in the kind of hipstery Boys Town section of Chicago, and I lived there too. Yeah. They can gentrify anything these days. It's a miracle.
It's easy, yeah, So, but how are you doing? What's going on?
I'm good. I've been super fucking busy. I feel like I've been under the gun and crazy busy on a bunch of shit. of late that I haven't been able to talk about on
Sure.
this because it's like, you know, all mixed up. And like 3 of the things all dropped this week. Like some of them on the same day. So I got a new poster out through the agency I work with, Percival and Associates, for Blumhouse, for House of Spoils with Ariana DeBose, which is a new horror movie from the directors of Blow the Man Down, which I loved. Blow the Man Down. That movie was super fun.
I don't think I saw that, actually.
It was like an Irish Coen Brothers movie, essentially, with a lot of like sea shanties in it before there was that TikTok sea shanty trend in like 2020, which was super fucking stupid.
Like all TikTok trends, yeah.
That was at least like, oh, cool. They're into sea shanties now. Crazy kids. And now it's like, Goon Edge Queen. And you're like, all right, I can't. I don't know what's happening. So that came out. I'm really proud of that. That's very slick and glossy and nice. And then on the opposite side of things, I just did a box set of films by the greatest director who ever lived, Don Luis Bunuel, for Radiance Films.
Oh, okay.
It's a set
I don't think I saw that.
I
saw that. I saw. Yes.
Exterminating Angel and Simon of the Desert.
Yep, looks great. Yep, I did see it.
Drops in December. I'm super fucking hyped about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolute dream gig. And then I worked with Inventors again for Carlotta Films, and we did Paris, Texas. Yep.
Yeah,
so that just came out
that
too.
looks great too. Yeah, for sure.
So there's a big chunky box set release of that. So like I literally have like a chalkboard up next to this desk that I work from that I'm constantly like checking off and like marking things down on, and it's always like chunky and filled up. And for the first time in like feels like 6 months, I can see black empty space on it. And I'm like, cool. This is my first weekend in so long that I haven't been working both days.
Yeah. No, I mean, no days off. Come on.
That's the vibe. But finally, I don't know what to do with myself. What do I do? What do I do?
Watch a movie.
I mean,
what the fuck else are you gonna do?
I have. Are there movies in my house? What's going on? What do I have?
Yeah. Do you have anything to watch? What's your movie stack? Since I've started doing so much steak in the past like 2 months. Like movies come like, you know, once or twice a week of just tons of movies, and the stack is like, I just haven't had time. I mean, I've watched stuff, but I just haven't watched at the capacity that I would normally watch. And so
yeah, I'm sure that like
stack, it's terrifying.
The stack of mail at your door is probably crazy.
Yeah, it's stupid as hell.
Yeah, I get that on Saturdays whenever I like come home from being out and about. There's always like a stack of boxes, and my girlfriend's always like very mad at me, and I'm like, well, some of these are from clients, but also, I also may have bought a bunch of shit too.
That's what money's for.
That's what it's for, buying things, or so Joe Biden has told me to. So I do it.
That's fine.
That's what capitalism's all about.
No complaints.
But have you watched anything like of note lately, or anything good, or anything like so shitty?
Well, I see. I pulled up my lists because I knew this was coming in hot. I watched Oddity. I didn't like it, and I know.
Okay, tell me.
Well, it's the second story in like an Amicus movie. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. And it didn't need to be 87 minutes or whatever. But even then, it's like the one that you want to skip, like in the anthology. You know, you get like, the
second in the anthology is always the weakest one. That's why they put it in the middle, because you can't get out. Exactly. The first one's got to be at least good to get you in, and the last one has to be great, so you walk out being like, that was really good. And then the like dirge goes in the middle.
And realistically, most anthologies are like that, except if you're watching like Black Sabbath. You know, like most of them are.
Black Sabbath is like clean, straight through, like no bristle, all bangers. It depends on which version you watch it, because they move them around depending on if you're watching the Italian stuff. But it doesn't matter, because they're all good.
Doesn't matter. They're all good. Doesn't matter. But yeah,
I liked Oddity. I had fun with Oddity. It did a lot of fun stuff for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll be honest, I have a different bar for contemporary movies than I have for older movies. So when I go to see a contemporary movie, the bar's a lot lower.
Oh, no, I agree with you. No. I mean, listen, every single fucking horror movie that's come out this year, I've been like, are you kidding me? And the bar was already set low,
Not to say that Oddity's bad. I liked Oddity a lot. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. And again, given the bar is low, but like, it also had the biggest like scare moment of any horror movie this year for me, which was the scene in the tent.
Okay, that's a great scene. I won't lie.
That's a great scene.
That's a great scene. And that character design is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was
I found
actually, I was
all of that far more interesting than the Golem.
Yeah, the Golem just like whatever.
The Golem's fine, and the Golem's good for marketing. And
yeah, it's incredible for marketing. Yeah, but it just looked. Very rarely in my life will I ever disparage something for looking too rubbery in a horror movie, but that shit was not wood. So I don't know. I wasn't feeling it, and I thought I'd take a look because I know that I saw Josh liked it, and I know Justin LaLiberty over at Vinegar Syndrome, loved it. So I was like, I'll check it out because, like, why not? And I saw that. I rewatched Noises Off, the Bogdanovich recently.
I love that movie.
Love that movie. Yes. It's such an insane fucking movie. And it's, people talk about the Safdies and anxiety and all that kind of bullshit, but like Noises Off is one of the most anxiety driven, like just psychopath milkshakes of all time. It's so fucking good.
It's honestly the hardest I've maybe ever laughed at a movie is Noises Off. We were having a conversation before we hopped on mic about certain filmmakers that like when you get into movies, you get really into them. And then over time you kind of like are like, okay, when I was 17, that did a lot for me. But like as an adult now, that doesn't do as much. The older I get, the more I love Bogdanovich. Mm-hmm. And like there's always this like hallowed view of like Last Picture Show through like What's Up Doc, Paper Moon, and then after that it's all bad. And that's such a fucking lie. If you're not watching Noises Off or They All Laughed or Saint Jack or fucking I love the musical. I love what with Burt Reynolds.
Nickelodeon? No.
I do like Nickelodeon. I love Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
Nickelodeon's adorable.
Oh, you're talking with Sybil Shepherd and Burt Reynolds and I can't.
And Madeline Kahn. Yeah.
Or even Daisy Miller. I love Daisy Miller.
Daisy Miller's so fucking underrated. At Long Last Love. It's called At Long Last Love.
Yeah,
it's super fucking hard to watch.
Yeah, I love it. I love
it. It's so fun, but. So I know so many people that are like have like musical theater backgrounds or actors and stuff like that. And I'll bring up Noises Off to them because I'm like, it's one of my favorite movies about that life. It gets that vibe so perfectly and it's outrageously funny. It's like on par with, if not better than most Screwballs or like Chaplin movies in terms of its physical comedy. The cast is ridiculous. And every single time I bring that up to those people, they're always like, oh, he botched that play. That play is so fucking incredible. And he ruined it. And I'm like, no.
I mean, I'm sure it is.
I'm sure the play is better.
I don't have knowledge of the play because I don't go see fucking, plays. I love plays.
And I can't go see that play with Christopher Reeve and John Ritter in it. And John Ritter is one of the best things in that goddamn movie.
Just awesome, just incredible.
It's
I bumped that recently. I've been working my way through the Road to movies with Bob
and Bing.
Hope, because I'd never seen them. And I have
such a hard time remembering which one is which. So when I'm like, oh, I should put one on, I always end up putting the same one on, and I'm like, I've seen this before. I'm like, I thought this was a new one. But they get the like Road to Morocco song, and it's all worth it.
That's great. And Road to Utopia after it is great. And so I've been doing a lot of those. I recently did The Late Show. Have you ever seen The Late Show?
With Lily Tomlin?
Yeah.
That movie's so fun. That would make such a killer like B picture to like The Long Goodbye. Of like mid-70s Altman stoner.
And he produced it.
Yeah.
Altman produced it. So I love that. I had never seen it because I was going through Benson's filmography because I had rewatched Nobody's Fool at some point, which I still think is
Oh yeah,
a wonderful Paul Newman movie. It's the kind of movie. Nobody's Fool is the kind of movie that I look at and I think to myself, if I made movies, I would love to make a movie like this, but I know I'm just gonna go ahead and make something where people die. But my dream would be to have the kind of brain that would be like, no, I'm going to do Nobody's Fool because I can do that. And I would never do it because I'd be like, but I want to murder these people so bad. So, so.
You can have both.
You can have both, but I would rather just make that movie that you're supposed to make. Like I'd rather make my like Jackie Brown, where you shouldn't be a 20-year-old making your movie Jackie Brown. You should be a 70-year-old making Jackie Brown, because like Nobody's Fool is definitely made by a guy at the end of his life, and it's that again, obviously Newman is in that at the end of his life. And it's like, it's just such a great movie. So I was like, what else did I miss? Like Bad Company, and then Still of the Night with fucking Schneider and Streep, and like all these movies that I had missed that he had directed. But Late Show is the one that I was like, yo, sorry,
Late Show's phenomenal.
Benson, but yeah, it's really good. Anyways, what have you watched recently?
So I did get myself out to the theater a couple times to see a couple new things. But I also like saw some older stuff that's great. I definitely want to talk about. But oh my God, I have to tell you about this movie. I don't know if you know about this. There's a new documentary that's out, and it as far as I know, at least like a week or two ago, it was in theaters. Because I went with a bunch of friends to go see it in the theaters because we saw the trailer and we're all like, this looks so fucking stupid. We have to go. It is called Lover of Men, the Untitled History of Abraham Lincoln.
Right. I did hear about this.
The poster is like a black and white photo of Abraham Lincoln, from Money. With a David Bowie thunderbolt on his face to imply that he was bisexual. And like, listen, from a historical basis, yes, there's a lot of like documentation to imply this. And that's an important like conversation to be had.
Sure.
This movie is so poorly made and like full of like reenactments that would make Whitest Kids You Know look like a Spielberg movie. And full of so many like gender studies professors being like, he slept in a bed with a man. What a dish. And you're like, what do you no oh God, what are you talking about? And like it literally goes on a tangent at one point near the end to talk about like queerness in the modern era, and it spends like half an hour just showing TikTok videos of like Phoebe Bridgers and stuff like that. And then literally at the end of all of that, it comes back to one of the historians and goes, so when I think about Lincoln, I'm like, oh my God, that's what this was about.
Yeah,
I forgot. Jesus Christ.
It's like they gave you a TikTok scissor reel. Oh, fuck that, dude. No.
It's so long. It feels like a YouTube video essay.
Well, I was going to say, I just thought it came up after you watched like Loose Change. It's like this, it's like up next. Lincoln. Lincoln like queer question mark?
It really feels it's giving to be original.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how they got it like swindled into AMC's. And we went with a bunch of friends, and while we were like walking up to the theater, I was like, watch this be like the one LA screening where the director shows up after for like a Q&A and we have to like pretend we like it. And like right before the movie started, they were like, stay tuned after the film for a special Q&A. And I was like, we are leaving.
Yeah, pass.
No. But we all had a hoot. All of us who went, it was a really fun time. There was half the audience was like queer millennials and Gen Z who were there to laugh at this. And the other half were like tired middle-aged or older like hetero couples that just needed to get out of the house and get some air conditioning. And so like half the audience is laughing their ass off through this, and then at one point one of the like older straight guys in the back just yells, what are we, 12? As if this is like a science class or like a like health class in like middle school. And I was like, what are we, straight? Like we're here, like we can make fun of this. Don't be a fucking dork. Just
come
because it's
on.
talking about an important and sincere topic doesn't mean we can't make fun of it for being poorly made. In fact, we should make fun of it for being poorly made.
And like ridiculous.
Yeah. And also like, what's the point? So
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. So cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the kind of thing where like you are just you're like any rational person in America or the world. You're mad about the state of things like Trump, MAGA, and you see this like beacon of history that you can kind of make those people mad with. I mean, it's essentially, I thought it was just something that was there to fuck with these Republicans, sort of, you know, like I thought that's why it existed. You're like, oh, by the way, Lincoln queer, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, yeah, just like gay, you know. So yeah. I really thought like that was why it existed. So
it's the kind of thing that like it's in like its latter hours is trying to be like, if you can accept that Lincoln is gay, then you can accept that your daughter is trans or whatever. And it's like, if you're trying to make that message, that audience ain't watching this.
No, they are not. They
I
would
tell
just never
you
think
what.
to themselves. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They would see that key art and be like, what? Why does he have a red lightning bolt on his face? You know, like, no,
I know,
just no.
I know Lincoln was friends with Bill and Ted, but I don't remember him getting into Bowie.
That's
I'll be honest. I was expecting them to pull out a clip from Bill and Ted of him saying "party on, dudes" at any point during the documentary. I was so ready for it, or them to like pull Alex Winter in costume for a talking head to be like, "Yo, when we met Abraham Lincoln, he was totally scheming on me," and you're like, okay.
Yeah, because like, what's Alex Winter even doing these days? So other than making miserable Zappa documentaries, so
yeah, he's directing.
Yeah, something I don't want to watch, but yeah,
yeah. Unfortunately, he's not making Freaked 2, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, come on, dude.
It's what we want, a Hulu original series. Though I did watch an older film this week because there's like, I always need to have the Criterion channel on while I'm working. It is soothing. It is mother. It is gold. It is God. And so they've got a new like collection of legal thrillers and courtroom dramas up on there. Usually not my bag. Like that war movies and prison movies are usually the like, not usually for me. I'm not there for that, but you know, there's a handful of movies in there like 12 Angry Men and My Cousin Vinny, Witness for the Prosecution that I liked, and I was like, I'll see what else is in here. And I watched a movie I'd never seen before, but had like kind of been on my radar, with Al Pacino and Justice for All, directed by Norman Jewison.
I haven't seen it in a long time. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember liking it.
I like, you know, like the key art is really bad. Always has been. Every iteration of it's really bad. So I've never like knew what it was. But then a friend of mine like a few years ago was like, we were talking about like cruising and Dog Day Afternoon, and I was like, it's weird that Pacino keeps doing these like queer projects. And then they were like, well, he also like has a like really important trans client in Justice for All that's like kind of the backbone of that movie. And I was like, what? So I watched that, and it's fucking great. It's like really good.
I remember liking it. Yeah.
It's got the same tone as like The Hospital or Network of like, it's pitched as a comedy. Kind of in the first half, and then the more it goes on, the more it's like, no, we're dealing with like the one person being late from lunch and kind of not caring can result in like someone's death. Like, it's really fucked up, and it's really dark, and Pacino's performance is incredible.
Yeah, it's really good. And that's funny that you mentioned Cruising and Dog Day Afternoon, because I always thought that was like an interesting reaction to like a projected masculinity of him at the time, you know, like the way De Niro was, the way, you know, like these male actors. And I always thought like Pacino was like hold my beer.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do these movies that like basically shake that whole fucking attitude that you have towards me, you know, like, and I always thought that was really interesting. I don't know if it's factual, but the way that they roll out, you know, it is this like, where you're like, okay, you're doing a lot of this kind of stuff that just like
And
your
it's
peers aren't
around the
doing.
same time period. Yeah, he did Dog Day first, and then A Justice for All, and then Cruising, like kind of packed in there. And they're all some of his best performances. His performance in Justice for All is great.
Listen, old Al is not really reliable. So like, he has been reliable for a really long time. So when you watch those old movies, you're like, oh, dude, I always forget.
Pacino in the 70s is like what Pacino's about. As soon as you leave that decade, especially when you get to the 90s, as soon as he gets that Oscar for saying hooah in Scent of a Woman, that's all it is for the rest of his career.
Yeah, it's sure. We all love Heat. We all love, the occasional tapped in performance, but most of the time, you're just like, are you sleeping? And it's fine. Listen,
we all love Dunkachino and Jack and Jill.
We do. Listen, truthfully speaking, that's like top 5 Pacino performance for me. So, it's all good, but in general, like, I'm just kind of like, and that's fine. Listen, because we talked about this the last time I was on. I love when I can see an actor's cynicism and the check that they're cashing. I love it. It's exciting to me that they are just like autopilot, buying their house in Malibu, like all good, paying hush money to like a 29-year-old, like whatever, because you're having a kid with her, whatever, you know what I mean? Like whatever, whatever, it's awesome.
Like Kevin Spacey in 9 Lives, the movie that came out like 9 months before all of his shit like hit the fan. That I was like, who has blackmail on Kevin Spacey to be in this fucking like cat body swap movie? Oh, there it is. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So no, Injustice for All is dope. It's dope.
It's really dope.
I'm actually not. Maybe I should rewatch it. Actually, it's been a minute.
And
so
it's also one that like after watching it, I was like, oh yeah, it's Norman Jewison. I can trust him. And after it, I'm like, no, Norman Jewison fucking rips. I mean, Fiddler in the Heat of the Night, Moonstruck, fucking Rollerball, Agnes of God is underrated as hell.
It's just one of those like above board journeyman filmmakers.
Yep.
Who was able to give you 15% more than what was needed, and that's good.
He's like, his whole thing is just like serve the material, do whatever like the script is about, make sure everyone's good and happy. I mean, he's a Canadian, it makes sense. And like Arthur Hiller too, the two great like 70s Canadian directors that just like showed up, knocked out of the park, went home. Their name didn't need to be in lights. It didn't need to be all about them. And I just always thought great.
I always just thought Jewison was like a Sidney Pollack without the ego, like, like that's the vibe, like, because that's a very career there too, but just an annoying person. Like Pollack was an annoying person,
But he's from Indiana, so we get to claim him, but not.
That's true.
Let's see. Norman Jewison could have done They Shoot Horses, Don't They? But Pollack could never have done Injustice for All or In the Heat of the Night.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, for sure. Speaking
of Canadian films,
I was going to say, sure.
Speaking of Canadian films, we got to get to the thing that we're talking about today. We are doing.
We'll dedicate like 15 minutes to it, and then we'll just go back to talk whatever we're talking about before.
Yeah. I think we can get a bit more than 15 minutes out of it.
No, I'm just kidding. I know.
Folk Horror 101, at least, is if you're listening to Severin Films. This is a big one, but that was hard to find for a number of years. From 1983 and directed by Avery Crounce, Eyes of Fire.
It was a time of witchcraft, of hangings, of horror, of magic. They were outcasts on a desperate voyage to the promised land. What they found was a terrifying world.
Strange land.
Yep.
So this is a weird one. Obviously a lot of people probably have like only recent interaction with this movie. It was like wholly unavailable, never got a DVD, and then when Severin did their folk horror All the Haunts Be Ours box set. It's like prominently featured in there. It immediately got a Blu-ray release from them, like
Yep.
with that on its own, and then like has like rediscovered a life outside of that. Because before that, it was just VHS collectors that knew about this movie and that had this movie.
there was an old Vestron tape that I remember as a kid, and that's how I saw it. And then when I went to revisit it in the era of torrenting, I just remember having like a busted AVI of it for years. But this was like, but what's awesome about this Blu-ray is that it has the longer cut on it.
Yeah.
And when you asked me to come on, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to refresh myself on Eyes of Fire. I shouldn't have to, but I'm going to. So I come in with a little gravy. I was like, oh, I forgot that the longer cut is on this disc, dude. So I watched that, which is called
Crying Blue Sky.
Yeah, it's got a beautiful poetic name that no one who ever liked a horror movie would sit through. Which is why it's called Eyes of Fire normally now,
Crying Blue Sky sounds like one of the like gene picks from Seinfeld that Elaine watches to try and seem intellectual.
That's really funny. Yes, it absolutely is a Miramax movie.
Yeah.
In the 90s, that was made in Spain, And
it's got like one niche actor from the 70s in like a 5-minute role. And it was like, when it came out, there so much Oscar buzzer on Crying Blue Sky, and then nothing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, then nothing. No one saw it again. And then we were, watch it years later when it ends up somewhere. But
like House of the Spirits. And remember House of the Spirits? No one does.
No one does. No.
But yeah, so we'll get into the extended cut in a minute, because I haven't seen it. So I'll be interested to compare and contrast. I mean, I have it. It's on the disc. I just, when I was sitting down to watch, I went for the shorter one because I was like, I don't have a lot of time tonight.
No, spoiler alert. It's better.
Yeah, I know. That's what I've heard. Everyone's kind of said that.
Just say, I mean, if you're a fan of the movie, it's a better movie. But it also it's just a different movie. Like the whole entire vibe is different. So like, as far as like the lead out and the characters and you spend so much more time hanging out in that busted cabin, I
love that busted cabin.
It's really good. It's some really good production value. Production design on that is great.
The whole movie is so fucking gorgeous. I first came across it when I first moved to LA. There was a like poster shop on Hollywood Boulevard, literally next to Musso and Frank's. That's not there anymore.
Is it Hollywood Book and Poster or whatever? The classic.
That's across the street. That's I can't. It's got a like guy's name. I can't remember what it is. Eddie something. But it was across. It was literally called like Star City Merchandise or like something like that. It was very much like a tourist trap. Like if you walked in, it's nothing but like keychains of like stars with like John, David, Cynthia. Look, I can take it home and let people know I went to Hollywood. Like it's that kind of stuff. But then they had a back room, like back and then off to the right, where they sold like weird memorabilia, like you could get a Sid Vicious bobblehead, and then they just had a fuck ton of like vintage posters for like $5. And so I somehow was able to buy a shit ton of like Almodovar posters there, and then they also had the Vestron VHS video store poster for Eyes of Fire with the girl like levitating and all the skeleton hands coming out of the trees, which is key art. Incredible key art. The other key art of the like actual Eyes of Fire behind the tree, I think is better. But I came across that poster and I was like, I don't know what this is. I've never heard of this movie, but this poster is so fucking gorgeous. I'm gonna buy it. And so like I've just had it. I had it on my wall for a few years. It's currently been in like my flat file storage for a minute. And then when not Vinegar Syndrome, not Synapse, when Severin put it out, I immediately bought the set. I was super excited to watch it, and then never did. So it sat on my shelf.
Sure.
And then recently, our friend Matt Landsman of Be Kind Video and of the Video Archives Cinema Club out here in LA at the Vista, programmed it because they show exclusively on VHS.
Yeah, brilliant idea. Yeah.
He screened it out there, and he used my poster for that screening. And I was like, okay, I feel bad. I should watch this movie now. So
it's time.
This is the time. I finally watched it for the podcast, and goddamn, it fucking hits. It fucking hits so hard. I've seen it compared to The Witch a lot.
Yeah.
I think I like it more than The Witch.
Well, that's because, I mean, you might like The Witch. I don't. So so to me, it is better. But
The Witch is fine to me. It's kind of like lesser. His other movies are much better. But it's a shame that Crowns never did much else other than this. I'm sure there's fans of The Invisible Kid out there who are going to get very angry with me.
Well, The Invisible Kid seems like such a Canadian movie. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those, it's just like something that it seems like it was made in Canada, like it was not it was not an American movie. It's like the kind of thing, it's like the peanut butter solution or whatever. You see that and you're like, nobody would make this in America, but they would definitely make it in Canada, So Invisible Kid always, like, it seems like that's what that deal is. I don't even know much about it. And so I'm sorry, Invisible Kid fans out there. Did Krauts do TV or something? Like, he had to have had some sort of career.
He was a stills photographer. He was primarily still photographer before, and I think a little bit after. His still photography, by the way, is fucking gorgeous. If you haven't seen it, it is. No, I haven't. Crazy. Check it out. Yeah. I highly recommend you go look at some of it, because it literally, like, the most like weird stylistic stuff that you see in Eyes of Fire is like exactly what his stills look like. If you took one of his stills and then put a parental advisory sticker on it, you could convince me that that's the new My Bloody Valentine album.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I mean, see, that kind of career makes sense on why this movie is so nice to look at.
Yeah,
and why why it works the way it does, because there's a lot of like hero shots in this movie. That like shouldn't be in a movie called Eyes of Fire, or is not necessarily shouldn't be, but is so uncommon to this sort of movie, it is a, what strikes me every time I watch it is just how if it was made by, I don't know, if it was just made in Montana with people who had $30,000, like, it wouldn't look like this. So understanding that Homeboy has a photographic background makes more sense. But it doesn't make sense that he didn't get more work.
It really doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, I know the story behind the alternate cut is that it was called Crying Blue Sky. He showed it to a test audience. It didn't do so hot with the test audience, so he self-consciously went in it himself and cut like 20 minutes out and then retitled it Eyes of Fire so it could have more of a horror crowd.
Yeah,
which makes sense. And sure, having only seen the Eyes of Fire cut of it, I like. Listen, if that came out in 2024, A24 and Neon and Focus would be in a bidding war on it at fucking Telluride, and they would trying to be put it out in the middle of the summer with like a crazy weird marketing campaign.
They'd long legs it. Yep, they would.
Yeah, they would long legs this movie, and you know what? It would do well.
And I probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I'd be annoyed.
Fair. Yeah. The marketing would be too oversaturated, then you'd watch it and be like, ugh.
Yeah, because don't get me started on log legs, because we'll be derailing this whole issue. So,
but if Neon picked it up as Crying Blue Sky and pitched it as their big Oscar contender, you'd be more interested in it.
It's not necessarily the case, but I would think to myself, like, I don't know, whatever. The whole elevated horror thing, it makes me want to blow my brains out. But yeah, still.
Agreed. It makes me want to stick a gun in my mouth. However, there wasn't really a market for that in like 83. Like, every time I think about this movie, I think it's like 88 or 89, but it's fucking 83. Like, this is the middle of fucking like Freddy Krueger and Jason destroying the box office. And instead, this guy was like, no, let's go out into the woods. Let's be very period accurate, except for the haircuts. And let's... What do you do? And let's like...
And some of the accents, but whatever. It's fine.
And let's have some like real like Americana ookie spooky folk vibes. Like, I can't imagine a world in which this does well financially in 1983 or even
Nope.
1993, but like 2023.
Yeah, it
This is
could
why
have.
I'm
No,
so
for
glad it's
sure.
like come back. But it's such a shame that he never worked in TV. He like only got 2 more films after this. One in 88 and one in 96. And again, listen, maybe Invisible Kid is better than its title suggests. It doesn't seem like it. And maybe
No.
Cries of Silence is an underrated banger, even though it doesn't seem like it.
Sure. You never know. I listen, I always say that. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Even if you already have some sort of idea that you think you never know.
Exactly.
There are plenty of movies made by
that they
people who I
tell
can't
you
stand
are
who-
bad.
Yeah, that
And then
show
you
up and they're
watch
awesome.
it, like At Long Last Love or O.C. and Stiggs, that everyone will tell
Exactly.
you are dog shit movies, and they're lying to you. They're trying
they
to...
end up
It's a psyop. They're trying to keep you away from the mind-expanding glory that is O.C. and Stiggs.
O.C. and Stiggs all day long.
Anyway.
I'll watch that once. I'll watch that once a day if I could. So
Happily, I can.
yeah, easy.
So let's give a quick what is this movie about?
Oh sure,
and
we
I'll-
should have started with that, but yeah, sure.
I'll do my best to be Josh here and rein us in. And so it's
Sounds good.
1750 or thereabouts. And I don't know how this differs from the extended cut, but in the mainline Eyes of Fire cut, 3 young women are found by French settlers and are kind of being interrogated in a little encampment as to how they got so far away from their land, why they're there. And they say it was witchcraft. He does not believe them, and that he says, "Tell me the whole truth." And then we get flashback, very like Terrence Malick, Linda Mon's narration from this young girl narrating her life. Her father was a fur trapper who spent too long trapping fur and not coming back enough to trap his wife's fur because she started bedding down with the new priest in town. And that caused a scandal, and they said it was they called it bigamy, and he's like, yeah, it is very big of me to date 2 women at the same time. These are the jokes, folks.
No, I love the jokes.
If I can't do Groucho Marx bits, what can I do?
Yeah, keep doing your Catskills comedian thing. Let's do it.
You can't see it, but I'm tugging on my collar and tapping the microphone.
Is this thing on?
Anyway, the town freaks out that the new priest is like flagrantly having sex with the married woman in front of them and living with her. They sentence him and her to death by pyre, essentially. But what they don't know is that he has a mentally ill woman with telekinetic powers who lives with him, named Leah, who he saved from being burned alive when her mother was burned alive as a child, and she's like indebted to him. And she has middling premonition related powers in that her premonitions happen about 30 seconds before the actual event happens. So they're not super useful, but they're useful narratively.
Yes.
Though she does use her telekinetic powers to stop the noose from hanging him, and the whole townsfolk are so stunned by this that they let him like rant and have a little speech. And when his other followers show up with guns, they lock the town up, raid the town for all of its livestock, food, and victuals, set up on a raft with like rocking chairs on it, and they head out of town to get as far away from the persecution as possible. They're beset by a Shawnee tribe. One of their members is killed. They're forced to leave the river and take settlement in a strange valley that seems to be marked by the Shawnee tribe around as being a bad place. There's a tree full of white feathers. The daughter who's been narrating all of this, her actual fur trapper father, comes back into the picture, tracks them down to try to get his daughter back. and kind of joins their company inadvertently in an attempt to convince his wife away. And when they find a like fully abandoned, kind of burnt out former settlement of like a few cabins and stuff, they decide this is fine. Let's stay here. What's the worst that could happen? And when they start seeing naked mud people that may or may not be there, and a tree with faces in it, and people raiding into their camp in the middle of the night, the father, the fur trapper, starts to get a little suspicious, and the religious leader decides, no, this is fine. This is great. And when a young native girl is just abandoned on their doorstep, essentially, he adopts her in. But Leah the psychic sees that maybe not is all as it seems. That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
There's not really like a plot in terms of like Hollywood like pitch, like elevator pitch, like 30 seconds, kid, what's this movie about? It's more like things happen. It's more of a mood piece. It's more bad vibes get worse.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's definitely like, it is one of the things I always remember when I watch it is that people want to make weird movies and it's corny and it makes my eyes roll because you may like weird shit, but you may not actually be weird.
Yeah.
And so this movie is so genuinely weird in its creativity and its atmosphere, and that every single strange surrealistic tableau that happens, like the mud people drinking from the cow's udder, just that shot in and of itself, you're like, oh, this is. Or at the end when the actor Dennis Lipscomb or whatever is, they go into his eye, like it's like a zoom into his eye. There's so many great weird, like truly weird, like
the
feels
reveal
authentically weird
of the tree with full of like petrified faces in it is not done in a way that I feel like any other filmmaker would do. I feel like any other filmmaker would be like tree and then like snap zoom, like spin around the tree, show all the faces on it and stuff like that. Instead, the girl's
like
running
a fucking
through the
Nightmare on Elm
forest.
Street movie. Yeah,
exactly. And she like tugs for cover behind the tree and kind of stops there, and it's like a wide shot of her like down there, full body next to the tree, and she's like catching her breath, and you're staying with her, and the tree's on the left side of the frame, and you're pretty like close in on the tree as she's like sitting there next to it, and the camera doesn't move, it just sits there. And the more you sit there with her, she's like the movement of the action. You followed her into the frame, so your eyes are supposed to be on her. And the more you sit there with her, the more that your eye starts to wander in the frame and look around and start to look at the tree and go, oh my fucking God, there's three faces of Jesus fucking Christ. It's very slow and deliberate. And again, like knowing that he was a photographer makes so much sense. I saw an interview with him talking about he always wanted to be a filmmaker, and the reason he got into photography was because he was really into Polanski. He read a quote from Polanski about how you can't be a filmmaker until you are like formally confident around a camera. And so he decided to get into still photography to get that. And it shows. And this is very much a like first film from a first time director in the best way, in that like naivete kind of sense. There's like the quote from Orson Welles where people talking to him about Citizen Kane and be like, how are you such a genius to know that you could do all these things? And he was like, I was a fucking idiot. I was 23. I didn't know what I was doing. So I was like, whatever, let's carve into the set. Like,
yeah.
No, and they were like, always, fine.
That's always, for me, like, it's always the best versions of everybody's art is when they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can become a master, and yes, that confidence can shine through, and it's exciting. And some people have that kind of juice that makes you want to see more. And some people just had it at the beginning and then they lost it when they figured out what to do. Yeah. And, you know, demos are always better to me than anybody's fucking record, you know?
I mean, famously, first albums are always the best. Like,
yeah. Once you figure out what to do, that's why, and we don't need to get totally in this. It's why modern punk is so boring to me, is because everybody knows what to do, and you shouldn't actually play like that anymore.
Yeah.
Those doofuses were just trying to figure it out. and that's what works. So anyways, like now I just hear like a modern punk band and I go, yeah, that's cool, man. I have that Ramones record too. So like, but the Ramones didn't know what they were doing. So anyways, doesn't matter. But back to this, it has this very strange confidence in every single aspect of it that I'm always shocked every time I watch it. I'm like, oh, right. Like, fuck, dude. I mean, I just watched this like last year and then rewatched it for this and was like, oh, this movie is so, I mean, yeah, I'm a fan. And then you watch it. It's like when you think to yourself, like, oh, Taxi Driver, or whatever. And then you watch Taxi Driver and you're like, what am I talking about? Dude, fucking Taxi Driver, dude. That's what I always think about when I watch Eyes of Fire over and over again, is that like every time I see it, I'm always shocked. Like, I'm like, because like at this time, even at this point with that box set and the availability and the rise and the interest in folk horror, which I definitely have opinions about. I mean, that box set itself, like Kirilla, that whole operation, that's incredible. It's an amazing feat. And that documentary is incredible. But like the box set should just come with like, it should be scented like with patchouli. Like it's people who love folk horror are not my people. And, it's like, that's their identity. I can't deal with that because I can't deal with hippies or people who, talk to me about the universe or whatever. But this movie,
I'm just afraid of nature. I'm just a city kid who's like, my whole thing is I grew up afraid of plants because of fucking Jumanji and Little Shop of Horrors. I was like, oh, plants can fucking eat you. That's terrifying. Plants are alive and they're just sitting there listening and watching us. I hate that. I don't like that. Fuck That's plants. Incredible. Fuck nature. I don't want any of that. I will live in my plastic chemical bubble. I'm less of that nowadays. But it amplifies like any kind of folk horror thing to me, because like this or The Witch or Blair Witch or any of the like general like you're stuck out in the woods. What are you gonna do? Like,
and
this
the woods
kind
is gonna fuck you up. Yeah.
This also reminds me of The Descent in that way of like the supernatural stuff hits like midway through, and then that like makes a dire situation worse. Where I'm like, I would be like out or dead before we even got anywhere near the supernatural stuff. Like by the point they're stuck in the tunnel in The Descent, I'm fucking having a panic attack enough to beat my head against the wall and kill myself. Like,
yeah, I would just never even put myself in that situation.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm not going.
You guys are going spelunking. Yeah, you go fuck yourself. I'm gonna just sit at the cabin and wait for you guys to come back. Good luck with the monsters.
Literally watching this, I was like, oh yeah, Frontier Time, 1750, Brave New World. I was like, I would not be if I was like raised and born in America at that time, I would be doing everything I can to get on a boat to England. Like, please get me out. Like, this is not my vibe. It is not my life.
They're like, wait, they've got running water in England? I'm going there. Yeah.
They've got running water and they talk about
plumbing?
Art.
Yeah. Wait, why'd you guys leave? Taxation before representation or something?
Because you're super religious. That's what it was. You were mad that the king kept marrying people.
Sure.
I'll stay here. I'll fuck off. Anyway.
So anyways, sorry, Josh, as you edit this. Because we're just getting wild with it. So
it's a wild movie. I mean, there's a lot of people. It's a movie that both like the Severin release, its availability on Shudder due to the Severin release, and then also because of its cool key art and the cult following, it's developed like a Letterboxd fandom too. Like there's certain movies that do better in Letterboxd than IMDb and different parts of the internet, and so torrent communities like kind of built that up in it like well before that, obviously. And it's one that like if you look through Letterboxd, almost every single review is like so Lynchian or like what a Twin Peaks score, and I'm like, what are you doing? First of all, by 1983, Lynch had only made 2 movies. He'd only made Elephant Man and Eraserhead. He hadn't made Dune yet. He hadn't made Blue Velvet. He hadn't worked with Angelo Badalamenti at all.
He hadn't made what people think of when they think of Lynchian.
Yeah.
Like
Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks didn't exist yet. Second of all, not everything that's surrealistic. This isn't even that surreal of a movie to me, who is like bathes myself in that kind of stuff. It's just a rough-hewn independent folk horror movie from like a different lens, from a filmmaker who's not going to use conventional means because he doesn't know conventional means.
Yep.
Like who like this is his way of like speaking.
Yeah, for sure.
So like it's a shorthand, it's lazy. I don't love it. I think it's lame. But like if you do like David Lynch, if you do like the music of Angelo Badalamenti, you will like this movie because it does have similar vibes. There's no way in hell Lynch has seen it.
No,
he doesn't fucking watch anything that doesn't have Judy Garland in it. But like it does have a like, you know, I know Avery Krauss was like kind of like spent a lot of his life in like New Orleans and then like kind of worked his way around the Midwest and then into Canada and stuff like that. And so like it very much has a like outsider art perspective on like, I know the idea of movies. I know the idea of this. I mean, he wrote the script himself. It's very much like this is like his child and this is his baby and this is what he wanted to make. And what this movie like takes on like faith and religion in terms of a horror movie of that era is really fun and exciting to me. Yeah. And also the way that it doesn't give you any kind of like big gory takedown of certain characters. It's very matter of fact. It's closer to like a folktale or like a children's tale. I feel like if this wasn't a movie, if this was like a book, it would be given to every 12-year-old in like school in America. Like with Hatchet was that other book, or like any of those like what's Gray Stroke, what's those White Fang, sure, like all of those books. White Fang and Hatchet was big for my generation,
right? White
of
Fang,
like
I got as a kid, or,
of like
you know Red Badge of Courage, or you know what I mean, or
exactly like where the red fern grows, all of those like times were tough back then. And here's how. And look, some of those do have supernatural stuff. I mean, they make kids read fucking Flowers in the Attic. Like,
yeah.
If this had been a novel, it would have like, this would be like a like YA like folk classic that would have done very, very, very well. As a movie, it's so beautiful and so like moving and so bizarre that there's no way that a horror audience in 1983, even if they were gobbling up Vestron tapes at the time, would have known what to do with this.
No, absolutely. The thing about it is that it's not just a good movie for what it is. It's a great movie in the scope of movies.
Yeah.
You know, like, cause we always, you know, as horror fans, we always make excuses. We're always apologists because we understand the limitations of a budget or people's skill set as far as what your crew looks like, or your actors or things like that. But this is actually a legitimately great movie. From the shorter cut to the longer cut, they both have like interesting things to offer. And I'm going to use two phrases that I fucking can't stand to describe each of them, but they do make sense. And it was it's that Lynchian shorthand that because listen, when you were talking about that, I didn't want to cut in because also I just think that you should straight up be shot in the face if you say shit is Lynchian. Like, go watch another movie. Okay. Don't talk to me like Lynchian, you know, Bunuelian, like fucking dude, just please, you're killing me with this shit. Just watch some other movies. So, and just stop calling them things like that. But what works with a shorter cut is that it's a fever dream. You know, the speed of it, the oddness of it, the rhythm of it is very dreamlike. And I fucking hate that phrase, but it is very real here. And for the longer cut, which is really interesting, is another phrase I can't fucking stand when people say it's a slow burn. Because you got 20 extra minutes and it moves in a very different way. The opening and closing are a little different than like that whole scene with the French soldiers in the cabin at the beginning of this doesn't exist in the longer cut.
Oh,
it's actually, but they are being interviewed. They have been found.
Oh, but
that doesn't exist at all. It's not even in the cut at all.
Interesting.
So they're like almost being like, it looks like kind of like they're being interviewed in like a steam room of like Equinox, just like, it's like white, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, it's like a really nice, like bright kind of atmosphere, but there are soldiers there and they're not French. And
Interesting.
it's like, it's really, I was like, wait, when it started, I was like, wait, this is completely different. Like, what's happening here?
That's wild
And
that they would even
you know,
reshoot that much of it.
yeah. So it's interesting because like, it's very cool how it operates, and it's not middling and it's not boring. It still cooks, but there is just, it builds it, the satisfying last 20 minutes, that kind of you
Mhm.
rush to in the Eyes of Fire version, that makes it feel just really like you're fucking, like somebody like drugged you or something, when
Yeah.
you're watching it, because it's so insane. The rhythm of it is that it almost feels more satisfying once you finally get there and you're at where it normally would end. And then that last act happens and all the insanity starts happening and you're like, oh, whoa, this is so much cooler,
Oh, it's fucking
that
awesome.
yeah, it's really great. But they both have like quality. So if anybody listening to this, who's never seen it and you don't want to buy the fucking Blu-ray, then just go to Shudder and watch the sick fucking 87-minute version, because it's dope. And it's fucking
like,
great.
It's literally like the whole reputation of this movie is built on the shorter cut, the cut that was available on VHS that like we've only ever had for this whole time. That's what built the reputation. And now knowing that like, but there's also still a better version makes me very happy. There's so many like lost, sought after director's cuts that when we finally get them, I'm like, that's not as good.
Yeah.
Like the like Legion cut of Exorcist 3 bums me out because I'm like, there's fun stuff in here. Like I love the extended conversations between the priests and stuff like that. That's all great. I love hearing him rattle on about a Eraserhead in an Exorcist movie. That's fun.
Sure.
But like significantly less Brad Dourif, and like the ending doesn't work as well. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah. And there's listen, I always often say that like, while no one wants to admit that the money people are right sometimes,
I know.
a lot of the times the money people are right. Like everyone's like, oh, fucking execs in the suits, and oh my God, they took my fucking baby away and they cut it. And then you look at it and you're like, I'm here to tell you, they might have been right when I watched the director's cut, because yikes.
I know.
But with this, it's different. It's both versions are strong. Both versions are just as good as each of them. It's not an apples and orange. It is an apples and oranges thing, but they're both fucking taste great.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
To that point, I went to go see that Zoe Kravitz movie this week with Channing Tatum, Blink Twice.
Yeah.
Which I had a lot of fun with. I don't know if you're gonna like it, but I had a lot of fun with it. But like the story is that it was originally titled and pitched as Pussy Island.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
she was like, I'm making my movie and whatever, like, but I'm not changing that. It's called Pussy Island. That's what it's called. That's what it is. And they were like, and by it was shot under that title, all that stuff. By the time they got to marketing and stuff, MGM was like, you need to call it something else. And they pitched Blink Twice as the title. And you know what? That's a better title for what that movie is.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm interested. Yeah.
If you call it Pussy Island and it's what the movie is, yes, it does intellectually make sense, but emotionally and like tone wise does not make sense with what this movie is. Blink Twice makes a lot more sense and like feels like a better title. Granted, I don't think they did a very good job on marketing that movie, but that's a separate thing.
Well, you just can't. From what I understand about the movie and what it's just a movie it's kind of hard to even bait and switch. It's a hard sell.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can't even bait and switch them to bring people into a movie, from what I understand about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and it's like hard, like anything that's not horror, Marvel, or has some controversy around it, like this fucking Blake Lively movie, you can't really sell a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard to sell a movie these days.
Yeah.
Like you really only have like one shot: IP, horror, or people are mad at the movie for some fucking reason, and everybody goes to either hate watch it or support their favorite actor or actress because of the controversy.
That's why fucking Lee Daniels is doing so hot on Netflix right now, because everyone's like, can you believe how bad The Deliverance is? And they're all going to watch it because they just want to hear Glenn Close say pussy.
Well, just newsflash, there's no good Lee Daniels movies. So like,
yes.
they all stink. So didn't he make that fucking Butler movie with like fucking
Lee
Forrest
Daniels, the Butler.
Yeah, Lee Daniels the Butler, with like maybe James Marsden doing like the most insane JFK impersonation, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, regardless, we shouldn't be talking about Lee Daniels. It's too much breath for Lee Daniels.
Anyway, Eyes of Fire is a banger. I'm super excited to watch the longer cut now, knowing that it is indeed like that fucking good. I've got the box set literally behind me, and I've got a whole weekend ahead of me. Maybe this is the time to do it.
I mean, truthfully speaking, in that box, it's the best movie in that box.
I do like V a lot.
I do too. And I love Il Demonio, and I love a lot of the movies in there I think are fucking great movies, but Eyes of Fire is actually the best fucking movie in there. Like,
there's a reason.
Dope. You know, like, there's a reason why it's the first disc in the box set.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's the first disc in the box set that's not the documentary. Like,
yes, exactly.
Eyes of Fire's up front.
Yeah, it's like, the first thing. It's not sharing a disc with another movie. It's not, you know what I mean? It's the best movie in there, and there's a lot of quality in there.
Yeah, you know? It's a great set, and that new set also looks incredible. I'm just bummed because I already have a lot of those movies.
Yeah, me too, but I ordered it anyways. Born of Fire's in there if you've never seen Born of Fire.
I've not seen Born of Fire, but I know of it because of the Indicator release, yeah.
Born of Fire and Eyes of Fire would actually be a pretty sick double feature.
Ooh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, Born of Fire is a strong fucking movie. And
I mean, my whole thing is, do I need to own Leeton twice? Because my other copy of Leeton is in a box set, and so I'm like, I think I do. Leeton fucks. Leeton's great.
I wish I liked
Josh
Leeton.
Isn't here this week, so I can keep talking about how much I like Leeton.
Yeah, I don't like Leeton. I think that I just never... I've seen it twice now.
But it's dreamlike and Lynchian. Yes. You would love it. It's the two things you love the most.
I don't mind dreamlike and I don't mind Lynchian. It's the damn phrases. So, but no, I like Homeboy's other movies. Mm-hmm. I just don't like Leeton. Something about it that's just fucking annoying to me for some reason. But it's one of those things that I actually dislike so much that I will revisit for the rest of my life. There's just movies like that. You know, you
that's
hate
me with like
so
the game.
Much.
I hate the game. Like I hate the game a lot. Yeah. And but I think about it a lot. So I've rewatched it a few times to be like, do I really hate it this much? And every time fucking Michael Douglas lands on that big fucking thing, I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna fucking beat your ass. God damn it.
Yeah.
My
big one is The Big Lebowski.
Really?
I couldn't fucking hate a movie more than The Big Lebowski. I appreciate it as a blank check movie because it is insane that is the movie that they made after Fargo when the studio was like, I love everybody's blank check movie no matter what. Like when you go make your hit and the studio's like, what do you want to do next? And they're like, we want to do a 2-hour movie about a fucking degenerate, drunk fucking, bowling guy. And I was like, that's incredible. And then I watch it. I try to watch it once a year. And just to make sure that I hate it so much that I'm like, I gotta be wrong. Like I gotta be wrong, And then every time I watch it, I think to myself, like once the fucking Rug and the White Russian and Tara Reid shows up and the fucking nihilists, I'm like, I hate this fucking movie so much, dude. So
some of those come back around. Some of those I'll be like, I hate that movie so much. I'll come back around and I'll watch it and I'll be like, oh, actually, that's really good. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I can't remember the last one I've done that on, but I've done it. It happens where I've been like, man, this movie stinks, dude. And then I'll watch it and be like, I might have been in a bad mood. But
that happened to me on Philadelphia Story, weirdly, where like I watched Philadelphia Story I hated it. And then I watched it again just to be like, do I really hate it? And I did. And then I watched it a third time and I was like, no, wait, actually it's sweet and lovely and great. And I love it. And I've kind of had like a ping pong relationship with Punch Drunk Love where like I hated Punch Drunk Love. And then I watched it again and I was like, no, I think I like it. I think it's not great, but I think I like it. And then I watched it a third time and I was like, no, Punch Drunk Love is a masterpiece. Punch Drunk Love is great. And then I watched it again and I was like, this is fucking insufferable.
Yeah. It's actually, it really relies so heavily on what kind of road you have for Sandler at the moment. That's it.
That it does, and
You know?
also, but it also speaks to who you are as a person at that time,
At
and
that
who
time,
you, and
yes.
how you change
Interesting.
as a person, and like your
Yeah.
like worldview. And I think that's
Yeah.
interesting and fascinating.
Yeah, that's what makes it. That's what makes it pretty sick. But it's funny you mentioned. I don't like Philadelphia Story. I was with you until you said you liked it. So
I like it now.
It's Hepburn. She bugs the shit out of me.
Oh, I love Hepburn. I always have.
On occasion I do, but sometimes it's a, you know, it's a mood thing with that. It's like how much do I want rocks in a blender in my head, because that's what she sounds like, you know. So
that's fair. Well, Eyes of Fire is a banger. Y'all
Yes,
should
it is.
watch it.
Absolutely.
My one quick little thing to say before we go is not only are the hairstyles in the movie outrageously from 1983, especially in every single one of the women, they've all gotten perms right before coming to set. It's really fun. One of the characters named Jewel, midway through the movie, sports a horrendously fake beard and mustache.
Yes. It's actually so bad. I was thinking about it as I was watching it. I was like, this is really
like, it's like, I think it's construction paper. It's like taped on.
It's so bad. The thing I want to bring up is how much I hate Dennis Lipscomb.
Oh, he's so insufferable. He has such a smug about him the whole movie that, like, as soon as you're like, oh, he's gonna get it. Oh, he's gonna get it. The whole movie.
As an actor, he is just like flop sweat, like brought to human form. You know, like I can't stand his face. He has that thing, and this is going to be so probably wildly unpopular and so not very cool of me, but like I just can't stand ugly people who have confidence. And like he's just like an ugly person.
That's why you don't like Woody Allen. Got it.
No, I just want to put him in a fucking locker and give him a wedgie and shit. So like, I'm a swirly, I want to bully that dude so bad. But he's got rich kid swagger. Like
that's what it is. Is that like kind of entitled like, listen to me.
And he's like that in every role. Like when you watch Retribution, there's just something about his face that just like I've seen a couple movies with him, and every time I see him, I'm like, he has the kind of like ugly kid swagger, which means he comes from like rich parents.
Yup.
That
you only get that if you're from money.
Yeah, you only get that kind of swagger if you're from money, and I just can't. I can't stand him. And like all said and done, you know, I don't know how he passed away, but I know that he passed away, and really, movies are better for it. So. You know, like I'm just not a fan. So and when but he's perfect villain. He's like a perfect piece of shit.
That's why he's that's why he's very good in this, and that's why this is one of the most well-remembered roles of his. Yeah,
he's awesome in it because you want to punch his fucking lights out, dude. So it's awesome. You know,
the guy with the shitty beard on his face is Rob Paulson, also known as Yakko from the Animaniacs.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that.
He's mostly known as a voice actor. He's like almost anything from the past 20, 30 years. Yeah. He's in doing some kind of a silly little voice. And you're like, oh, you were in Eyes of Fire. That's fucking weird. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's a cool little fun fact. I mean, and also the grandpa from Silent Night, Deadly Night is in it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, with his wife, sister.
Yes. Jeez. Who's blind, but then not blind anymore. It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. She's awesome. I love her.
Honestly, the funniest part of the movie is, and his wife, sister.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, adore it.
Yeah, fucking Fran Ryan or whatever. You know, she's like legendary grandma. You know,
she's great.
Yeah, she's awesome. She, she's like in Pale Rider and shit, and like she, chances are she's in that. You know, she's great. You know.
Well,
legendary.
let's pivot and move to Josh's favorite game that we play. Have they seen it? The game that we play where we try to guess if a random celebrity has seen this movie. And this is a movie that was put out on Vestron video on VHS in 1983 and not again for like 30 some years. So, I mean, right out of the gate, like we're not even going to do it because it's too obvious, but like, yes, I'm certain Robert Eggers has seen this movie. You don't make the witch if you haven't seen Eyes of Fire and think no one else has.
Yep.
A million percent he had a tape of this growing up and was like, I could do that and make it in my own way, which is cool and exciting, and you should do that with art, and I think that's great. But I do love the like, no one will know. And then Kayla Janice is like, hey, I restored this movie everyone should see. And he's like, fuck shit.
He's like,
they're
damn
gonna
it. But then he's
know.
like, but then he's also like, that's really good for my career because it makes people want to see my like middling passion projects that like studios want to give money to, but like nobody really goes to see. So thank you, Northman. You know,
it's a good gig. It's a good gig.
If you listen, no, I'm going to lose a ton of money for the studio with Northman, but they're definitely going to let me make Nosferatu because I'm not going to fuck that up. Flash forward to like December 27th when we're all talking about how he fucked it up. So like, you know, but I like The Lighthouse. I think it's fine. You know,
I don't think he's going to fuck Nosferatu up. Anyway, on
you hope so because you're a humongous vampire head. So you're hoping. No, it's the best possible scenario. I'm not going to lie. It's the best possible person for the job.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I do believe that. But who knows? You know, let's see what Willem Dafoe does this time around and how much he's annoying about it.
And how much scenery he's going to chew. I'll bet it's a lot.
All of this. Is he Van Helsing? What is he? Like, is he...
Yeah, he's in the Van Helsing role.
Oh, well, then it's over. I already know how much
it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Sure.
Okay. Well, so I'm trying to think about someone who would have like had like interest in 1983 to maybe like go at a long shot on Eyes of Fire. Do you think Joe Dante would have like come off of Piranha and been like, what about this movie? Let's give this a shot.
Yeah,
you think
Joe Dante,
pre-Gremlins, Joe Dante would have given Eyes of Fire a shot?
Absolutely, without a doubt, because Joe Dante seems like the kind of cat at that time and still probably to this day, but definitely like around that time as a person who just went over the LA Weekly and like tried to find all the interesting movies to see. And he'd be like, oh, this is playing at the fucking Glendale fucking 3, you know, or whatever, you know what I mean? Or like whatever, you know, like whatever weird theaters existed all over the city, all over the fucking Los Angeles basin or whatever. He seemed like a guy who scoured. Much like a Tarantino, much like even a Bogdanovich. You know what I mean? Like
Bogdanovich especially. I mean, Bogdanovich famously got his gig with Corman by going to a Jacques Demy screening. Yeah. And intentionally sitting next to Corman. Yeah. So that he could get a job shooting fucking motorcycle movies.
That's all how it's. I always say it's where you place yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you have
that's
to
why,
sometimes
kids,
make your own luck.
You should watch fancy art house movies because a lot of the people that make the shit that you want to be in, that's what they watch.
That's what they watch. You know.
Who do you got?
You know, I Joe Dante was interesting, and I actually long shot because also you never know with this cat. But did Kubrick see it?
That's a fair one because a lot of the times he seems like Lynch in that he's not going to like put anything in to like mess with his like process. But then you find out that he loved Eraserhead and he loved Girlfriends and we watch that all the time.
So you just never know. That's like one of those ones where it's just like you shouldn't ever try to like shoehorn somebody like that in that. But I believe he was such a interesting. His taste was interesting that it's possible.
Didn't he also love White Men Can't Jump?
Yeah, he also loved White Man Child. He's like Malik, where you're like, wait, so your favorite movie is Zoolander? So like, you're like, are you sure, dude? I mean, that's cool. I hate it, but I'm glad you like it. You know,
it's funny. I hate Malik's movies, but I love Zoolander. So maybe he and I would get along.
It's quite possible that his Ben Affleck whispering poetry over the shot of him running his hand over grain is, that guy, maybe you'd get along with him because of Zoolander, but whatever. I like old man spiritual Malik. I get it. So like, I'm a fan of all those stupid movies. So,
oh my God. I think Kubrick's probably seen Eyes of Fire. I think there was
it's possible.
I think there's stories about him having a pretty mean tape collection in that era, and Laserdisc especially too.
Yeah. I bet you Bergman had a copy of fucking Eyes of Fire. You know what I mean?
I would. Yeah, I remember after Bergman died, there was the stories of people like going through his island at Faro and trying to sort things out, and they're like, "There's a lot of Die Hard sequels in here."
Yeah, totally. And that's what I mean. It's like you just never know that like one of these, like one of these pillars, these titans of filmmaking, just all of a sudden had something really random. But they wouldn't. It's not like when you hear of Malick liking Zoolander. If like any of these cats had seen Eyes of Fire, they were right to, because it's fucking great. You know what I mean? So they were probably like, damn, dude, this movie. They thought they were getting some cheap fucking haunted horror movie in the forest, and they get something a little bit more, and that's the deal with the movie. It's surprising, and it's awesome.
On that level of like people that like will occasionally surprise you because they're like such like prestige kind of like dudes and filmmakers that have like such a kind of taste like that like every now and then you're like, oh yeah, I guess you do like that kind of stuff too. I was gonna say Mel Brooks because like obviously Brooks films like worked with Lynch on The Elephant Man and Cronenberg on The Fly, and like Brooks famously has like crazy eclectic taste and is like closer to like Bogdanovich and Lynch in terms of taste and stuff like that. However, I'm gonna say he probably hasn't seen it, because if he did, Brooks films would have made a movie with Avery Clowns. He would have hired him.
I'll buy that. Yeah, he would have saw it and been like, oh, what's this guy doing? Oh,
right.
Wait, he's making The Invisible Kid next.
Which The Invisible Kid kind of sounds like a Brooks Films movie of like Space Camp. Yes. You're like, all right. Sure. Solar Babies was the one they made.
Yeah. Solar Babies.
But yikes. I will say there's a person who's like a very prestigious actor who like has a lot of Academy Award acclaim and is like constantly doing stuff. But then you'll also see them in stuff and be like, what are you doing in that? What? And then they'll be like, oh, because I love horror movies and I love working with that director. And you're like, oh, okay. Do you think Cate Blanchett has seen Eyes of Fire? Yeah, that was a fast yes. Oh my God.
I do. And that's actually a really good call. Yes, I do. Because the company she keeps, the interest that she seems to have, she spends a lot of time with Eli Roth.
She spends a lot of time with Eli Roth.
And that seems weird to me, but that's all right. I listen, no shade on old Eli, whatever. He's, I'll, whatever. I'm not going to talk shit about him, but I like Thanksgiving, so whatever, which maybe might be the first time I've ever said I liked an Eli Roth movie.
You like a modern horror movie? Ooh,
I do.
They just tell everyone.
You should. I like Thanksgiving. Made by a guy whose public mouthpiece is so annoying. So, but I'm a fan. I like Thanksgiving. So, that Addison Rae can really act. So, but yeah, no, definitely Blanchett. I feel like she probably did, She probably has,
I feel like if she didn't already like earlier in her life, I feel like after this set came out, I feel like multiple people gifted her this set for Christmas that year.
Sure. Yeah.
She probably had like a few of them she had to give back or something.
Yeah.
But especially working with Roth and then now working with Guy Madden, which makes me so excited. I'm dying to see what that's going to produce.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely interested in how that goes down.
I think this is the kind of thing that she would really vibe with. I think she would have a lot of fucking fun with this.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. But yeah, no, that's all I could really think of when I was thinking about this movie was Kubrick. Most, I think anybody else, or just, you just never know, like all of a sudden, like, fucking Margot Robbie's talking about fucking Eyes of Fire. You never know, but
it could happen. She's got weird fucking taste.
Yes, she does. Yeah.
Not like Cate Blanchett of like, she's going to start talking about Cannibal Holocaust and you're like, what? But like, Margot Robbie does have very, very odd taste. And I think, that's fun.
I just like to think about the fact that like Blanchett kicks it with Roth and she's definitely seen Being 20. The Fernando DeLeo movie, which is like one of the rudest, meanest movies of all time for that last like 10 minutes of the movie. And the rest of the time, it's just two chicks in the countryside having fun and whatever, but like, she's seen that movie and been like, oh, damn. Because Roth like loves that movie, like famously.
Yeah. Well, I always think about like the like super fucked up weird shit that I love, that I like, that's to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I super want to talk to people about that I like Singapore Sling. I mean, we did it on this podcast because people asked
Yeah,
for
of
it.
course.
But even on that, like Josh didn't really like it so much, and it was hard for me to be like, I love this super fucked up movie because things you're saying are right about it, but like I like it.
It's awesome. Yeah,
I always
for
think
sure.
about that whenever Eli Roth is like espousing about some weird fucked up movie. I'm like, but there's gotta be more fucked up shit than that he's like absolutely watching and probably doesn't like as much, but is still watching. Like,
Yeah.
I could not imagine like the kind of like little like movie parties that he and Kate Blanchett must have. Like, gotta be a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he starts with like the thing that he always tries to show celebrities, which is Pieces, and then he's like, "Oh well, if you liked Pieces, wow, okay, yeah, I got a couple movies on deck here that I could show you," and then, then he shows like he rolls out like Being 20, and they're like, "Oh God, these girls are just having fun in the Italian countryside," but wait, something bad happens soon. You just have to get through 82 minutes of the fucking movie. Made by Fernando D'Elia, who definitely hated hippies, as he should. And so
I always say trust punks, hate hippies.
Yeah. But then when you hate hippies, you do share a hatred with people who are on the right. So you got to be a little careful with that.
But a lot of those hippies grew up to be on the right. I've seen The Big Chill. You can't.
I've seen The Big Chill. I know who David Mamet is. So.
Oh God. I know it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, at least we still have Schrader, who's not. He's just always been a weirdo. So.
He's losing it, and he's allowed. His wife's sick.
He's
got Taylor Swift, and he's making movies about Nazis falling in love with black women, and that's sure. Have fun, Paul. As my friend who's a giant fan of his would say, take a nap, Paul. We'll see what you make in a week.
Yeah, I like Master Gardener, but yeah. Master Gardener is like just like such a minefield. Anyways, we're going to go off topic here. So I guess we'll wrap
to. Anyway,
like I said,
this was our episode on Norman Jewison and Eli Roth. I guess Eyes of Fire was mixed in there somehow. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on bloodhousepod@gmail.com if you want to send us recommendations or questions or be like, why do you talk about random shit so much? We'll answer that. You can also follow us on Instagram. I think Josh says Blue Sky, but maybe that's just for him. Bloodhouse Pod on Instagram, on Twitter, all of that stuff. I think bloodhousepod.com is a website where you can listen to our stuff. You can also listen to it on Spotify and Apple and wherever you get podcasts because they're, everywhere. What about you, Chris? Where can people go find you? Go find Steak? Go read?
Mm-hmm. Well, steakmountain.com. That's steak as in the food, MTN as the national abbreviation of mountain.com, is where you'll find a not updated portfolio of all the cool art that I've made before 2023. And nothing from the past 2 years, really. You can also find links to both of my novels. One is called Hunchback 88, and the other is the freshly this past year released The Holy Day. I highly recommend because I'm a really good writer and I will not test your patience at all. And so one of those things is true and one of those things is not. And,
I know which one is.
Yeah, exactly. As someone who's probably been like, I'm just going to tell Chris I read it. Which is
liar.
Fine. It's fine. No, it's fine.
No, I have actually.
They're good. They're great books if you like to be confused. So, and have a fetish for like cool turns of phrase and shit because I do that really well. So,
dude, I read Cain's Jawbone. I'm fine.
Yes. Okay. Well, there you go. So, you can find me on all the other stupid platforms that everybody has with that Steak Mountain handle. Instagram is the one that actually has been the most updated recently, and actually has not had posts deleted or archived in a really long time. So you can kind of see what I've done in the past couple months.
I was going to say, it's kind of shocking to go to that account and actually see stuff there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty mad about it, but I am actively trying to pay my rent more than normal. So I have to keep things in play because it's actually fun. I've found that it's actually helped. Oddly enough, social media does work. So when you don't work against it, it works for you. So other than that, nothing else. Nothing. I mean, there's plenty of coming up, but not anything much like you. It's not a whole lot I can talk about. So, but keep your eyes peeled for all kinds of cool shit that I'm doing.
Head over to the Vinegar Syndrome website every first of the month and see if there's something fun there, because there's probably gonna be.
There's probably like 4 or 5 things and maybe some fucking banners for a sale, that I've done. So,
and shirts and fucking awesome stuff. Well, it's fucking great. You've been fucking crushing it, and thanks so much for stepping in. And having some fucking colonial fun with me. Yeah, let's colonize those native tree spirits into Christianity.
Yeah, I love the hats. I love all the hats in there. So I'm a big hat guy as a bald person. So.
It's a good choice. Well, you can also follow me at sisterhidedesign.com. All my work is up there. It is updated, so if you're wondering what I'm talking about when I talk about that Bunuel box set or House of Spoils and stuff like that, that's on my website. You can go there, you can look at stuff, you can buy Cure posters and Rolling Stones posters that I've designed. Those are up there for sale. If you've ordered one recently, I am going to ship it out, I promise. It just takes me some time. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Hyde Sister. If you look for Sister Hyde or Drusilla Adeline on Letterboxd, you can follow me on there, and you can see what I've been going through and watching a ton of Robert Altman movies lately. Next week, I will be back with another special guest to watch a Spanish giallo film, and I don't have Josh to cue me up to ask what it is, so I'm just gonna say it is an underrated motherfucking banger of a giallo film. Just because it's not from Italy doesn't make it one of the absolute better ones. It's not Argento, it's not Bava, it's not Fulci, it's not Martino, it's Juan Antonio Bardem, and it is The Corruption of Chris Miller.
Sick one.
Yeah. If you like lesbians and hate Charlie Chaplin, you're gonna fucking love this one.
If you love perms and houses that look like they're like definitely not lit with lamps, but giant fucking Kliegelites, you're gonna love this one.
I do.
I do too.